Welcome back to the channel. Let's do a grace card reading, y'all. Yeah, just an energy check. I just want to see what's shaking out there. Let's just see what the grace cards have for us right now, right here. And let's see. I'm going to give it one more shuffle, and I'm not sure why I'm doing that. Because normally I come on ready to go, but I guess they wanted us to shuffle one more time. Okay, let's do it. And we might pull an angel card, maybe an oracle card. Well, let's just see what the grace cards have for us, and we'll just do what we feel like doing, okay? All right. Thank you for being here, y'all. You know, if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost nothing yet. I really shouldn't say nothing now, should I? Okay. All right, then. Soul. Practice good soul care. Now this, okay. The quality of our outer life is always dependent on the quality of care we give to our soul. You know, part of soul care is learning to manage our systems that we've been given. We got systems, our brains, we've got our mind, we've got our brain, our mind is connected with our will and our intention. Our brain is subject to programming, is driven by ego. Our bodies are like this harmonious big bundle of loveliness that we tend to ignore a lot. We take a lot of shrapnel in a day, y'all. Our world has just become nuts, and we take a lot. We field a lot of input in a day. Let's put it like that, okay? And I don't really believe that the system has our best interest at heart, based on the fact that a lot of the industry depends on our folly. It's depending on us getting sick and needing insurance, but I'm not going to get into that. But what we can do for ourselves is realize that the self-care is going to reflect in our outer world. Okay, what do they say? As above, so below, as within, so without, and that is just true. If we can manage to keep ourselves sedate inside, not sedate, but I don't recommend sedating, okay, I really don't. But I just mean a little bit calmer, a little less rash, a little less reactionary. It's hard to do. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not. But it's really well worth the work to get to a place where you feel like you're in control inside, where you can stay kind of calm in most situations. You can have a measure. Sorry, I'm doing this, I don't know what's going on with me, jet fumes or something. But when we can sort of like let a lot of the stuff roll past us, understanding that we're just there, we're not of it, and that it really can be used for good information. If we can just kind of digest situations like that, instead of getting like all emotionally entangled and involved like that, which is really disruptive to our systems, to our belief, to our manifestation. When we can do that, life really does start to work out for us, and the opportunities that we're being sent aren't so in disguise, because like I said, we got our minds, we can train our brain with our minds, but most people don't understand that separation, and so we're just running off programming most of the time, just old programming. We're just on this loop-de-loop. What does help clean the slate, what does help open things up for us, is when we get in touch with ourselves. And when we start to give ourselves some love, because it just really does hack away at all the other stuff that happens to us in a day. I mean, psychologically, it's amazing that we're all still intact, but there comes in that sedating thing. No, but it is. We do, as humans, feel a lot. And the only reason I know that is because when I was coming back from the stroke, at the beginning, I was nebulous. I was sitting in a chair. I could do very much of nothing physically. And I arranged to be in a secluded situation. I just didn't realize the seclusion was going to last so long. It lasted years, where I didn't have any input from the outer world. I didn't have any. I didn't know what was going on with the news. I didn't talk to people. I didn't get phone calls. I didn't go outside. I didn't have any of that to contend with. So it was kind of easier for me to go in there and start learning how to figure out who I am. And then when I realized that I wasn't going to necessarily die, then I had to start getting a grip on how I brought myself to that situation and what I was going to do when I got out of that situation, because that, the only place up to go was up from there. But I realized because of that experience how important it is to get this thing in here and this thing in here in some sort of control, to where we're not just being tugged by the outer world constantly and by the other people in our world, and taking on these moods of other people, the energetic shifts and transfers that happen when you can learn how to guard yourself from that and stand strong in your own psyche. Boy, I tell you what, the soul care card and the mindfulness card, because the mindfulness card talks about that too, where we go in and we start getting a grip on these thoughts that take us down these dark paths, because all the time we're down there in those alleys, we're not manifesting anything that's really redemptive in our world. There is no waste of time, but definitely that's just not where we want to be, spiraling into these negative loops or these fear loops or the what if loops, okay? But once you start taking care of yourself, once you start giving yourself the time of day, I say, when you realize that time alone and time for just you is important, when you do that for yourself, you'll see the reflection in the outer world start to take shape. You really will. When you start to have patience with yourself, you'll have patience with other people. And when you start to do that, and you're not doing it on purpose, it just starts to happen. It's like this osmosis kind of thing. When you're doing that, then other people are doing it for you too, and they don't even know they're doing it either. Okay, but that's what I mean. When you start taking care of all of this in here, all of that starts to really behave for you. And that's what we need in our world. So that's not this constant battle. I mean, we all know we need contrast. It's this and that and this, and that's the world that we're in. I know, head and tails and blah, blah, blah. But the idea that we don't have any control over our lives that's a misnomer. Yes, we do. And it all starts inside, okay? So practice good soul care, whatever that means for you. But for me, it definitely means going in and learning how to control my own thoughts, how to pull myself off the ledge, how to be my own best friend, how not to wait for other people to do for me the things that I need to be doing for myself. That's a huge heightened state of reality to be in, okay? And the cards are calling for us to get in gear now. You hear that? I can't snap my fingers still, but okay. There's a little, get it in gear. Take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, everything else starts to take care of itself. I promise. It is the way it is. Okay? All right, y'all. Let's see. How about we go with Wild Mystic Oracle deck? Okay, this is a beautiful deck. I love the artwork. I always pre-shuffle, but I'll go ahead and shuffle one more time on camera so I'm using my lap as my table. I don't really have a true setup yet. I don't know. I've been through a lot in the last several months, y'all. I had to move on the spur of the moment, and when I did move, I went a half a continent away, and it's one of those things. Okay. Defend. Scorpio energy, okay? And for me, this is about standing up in yourself, and that's exactly what we were talking about with the soul care card. I love that. Look at that. It's beautiful. Defend. Then. Bottom of the deck, stillness, okay? So what I'm feeling right now, just out of the deep depths of my little soul, is that this is about, regarding the soul care card, we kind of do have to go in defense of ourselves. We do have to sometimes step up for ourselves to get what we need in our lives, because our lives are also built around other people, our kids, our parents, our siblings, our spouses, our friends, our co-workers. It's like a whole litany of other people that usually come before we come in, and so I believe that that's a worthy cause to defend. Look, I got to get myself together. I need a few minutes over here. Look, I'm not gonna have breakfast with you this morning. I'm gonna go for a little walk, clear my head, and get myself ready for this day. I got a big day or whatever. But I think that a lot of the times in stillness, we're being given so much information that we can't otherwise receive. So do that for yourself. That would be part of self-care. And I know sometimes it's not even comfortable. A lot of people, nowadays, they can't be by themselves, and they certainly can't be by themselves and like turn everything off. And I know that it could be uncomfortable for some of us because we're not used to that. But I promise you, if you can give yourself just small little pockets of time where you are still, where you quiet your mind, you quiet your body, you shut the door, you turn off the phone, and just give it a minute. Just give it a minute and just see what starts to come in. Just see what it is that those are going to be your bigger concerns. Those are going to be the little gifts from Spirit that kind of open up your imagination and give you fresh thinking, give you a fresh take on particular situation that you might be in. That's what we need. We need to clear all that out so that we can hear, so that we can feel, And sometimes you do have to go in defense. And I don't mean like, oh, but I deserve it. No, like that. But just to realize that, look, I've got to defend my own honor. I have to defend my own time of self-care. Because nobody's going to do that for you. Nobody's going to do it for us. We got to do that for ourselves. So in that, I don't normally like advocate trying to be in defense. It's like I'm not emotionally invested enough to constantly defend myself with anybody, but a lot of us are. And that's a hard thing to get over. It's a hard thing to be in. But I believe that this card right now, given our conversation earlier with the grace cards, it's about us. It's like if you do have to stand up for yourself, do that. You might have to ruffle a feather or two to get yourself in a position where you can take care of yourself, and so be that, because you are the most important thing right now. Okay? And once you take care of you, then you've got it to give for everybody else, and you just remember that. You can't keep letting the car get empty, because then you end up having to park it on the side of the road and walk to the gas station. Okay? And none of us need that. We're busy in our lives. We don't have that kind of time or energy. Okay? So take care of yourself. Part of that is coming here. Thank you for being here. You are valuable. You are loved. You are being supported. And I'm so grateful that you spend any time with me here at all. Thank you for being here. I hope something resonated in this video for you. And if you like the video, I won't be mad if you hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe, it's free. Please do that, because even without the notification bell, if you are on the subscription, you will see my stuff come up when I do upload. So that's always a good thing. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, thanks y'all for being here, and I will see you soon.